Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube sensation, the show you can't live without. It's a brand new show, hot off the press for y'all today. I am back. My name is Richie, the real deal heel Reardon, and I am joined with my co-host, my best friend, my sidekick. I'm his sidekick, the best podcaster in the land. So good, his last name is podcasting, so he must be good, to quote the Raven, which you should never more do. But anyways, his name is Johnny Podcasting. How you do, brother?
Dude, I'm doing great. It's always great to be here with you, man. I love the intro. Thank you. I'm an egomaniac, so you love to hear when people put you over sometimes. So definitely, we all like to get our horns tooted sometimes, man. So definitely appreciate it. Definitely always glad to be here on our show, Fig Life here, and definitely looking forward to tonight and this great episode we got for everybody. So hey, man, let's not waste any time tonight. We got a lot of good stuff for this episode, so let's just jump on in there, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And what do you got for the first segment here for everybody?
Well, you were going to show off a couple of the scores that you had. You had a score of the week today you're going to tell us about that you're going to be getting, and I'll put the pictures up of it right on the screen as we're going through it because this was a sweet deal, man, that you got. I love this one.
Yeah, my wife was working late tonight, so I got the chance to go over to a place called Zia Records here in Phoenix, Arizona. We got a couple locations out here. Great people. They got a lot of nostalgia in that store. You know, it's a CD store along with they sell vinyl records, and they have a few miscellaneous, Funko Pops or whatever. The figure collectors go there, all that kind of stuff. So, I found myself in there, of course, doing a little figure hunting because they have a lot of wrestling stuff in there a lot of times. And of course, everybody knows I'm a huge TNA figure guy as well. We haven't really broke too many down on the show yet, but I'm going to change that today because I recently, you sent a package out with
Mm-hmm.
the Jeff Jarrett in this series.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to go ahead and collect the rest of the series. And the person I just mentioned in the starter cap of this show, it is none other than the Legends of the Ring, Raven.
Quote the Raven, nevermore.
That's right, man. And the
That's
cool thing
sweet.
about this is, Raven had some very, very bad figures that came out in WWE to match his bad run in WWE, unfortunately. Unfortunately, he didn't have many good figures, but in WCW, there was two Toy Biz, I believe, that came out that were really good.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, he hasn't had any good ones, man, unfortunately. And this guy is so iconic. He's contributed so much to the wrestling business. I feel it's a shame that he doesn't have more good ones. But this
Yeah.
one does him justice because you see there we say on the show we don't like rubber attire when they use it,
Mm-hmm.
and they spared no expense when they made this one here because if you look at Raven's ring jacket there, it is nice and pleather, which is fake
Wow.
leather. So it's very nice. So yeah, they didn't spare any expense to this jacket here. It's definitely iconic in Raven's attire. It's an iconic piece that he always includes throughout the years. So definitely a very important piece there. Of course, you got the iconic picture of Raven down here in the corner, and of course, this series is called The Legends of the Ring, which Raven is definitely qualified to be in a part of.
Mm-hmm.
You got different people throughout the time period there that they made this short series. You had AJ Styles, Jeff Jarrett, Kevin Nash. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they had a couple versions of Hulk Hogan and a couple versions of Sting as well. Of course, one of Terry Taylor, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So, yeah, pretty cool. So on the back of this, it says Raven, one of the most maniacal and sadistic superstars in TNA wrestling history, former World Heavyweight Champion, a destiny he achieved by winning the 2005 Slammiversary King of the Mountain match. He enjoys the intensity and violence of hardcore matches, and he's not afraid to sacrifice his own body and inflict damage on an opponent. That is definitely damn sure Raven by far for a description there. So great
Mm-hmm.
job. This was made by Jakks Pacific, who used to make the WWE toys way back
Another good
when.
line.
Another great line here. Of course, you could pick it up on shoptna.com back in the day. Unfortunately, it's not still available. This is a score of the week for me because I'd been looking for this figure. They had it marked at $24.99. They marked it down to $17.99, and I even got them to mark it down a little further because of the condition of the box. I ended up walking out with this thing for $12.
Hmm. Wow, you can't beat that, man.
Yeah, you really can't. I mean, just up here where you can hang it, it's just a little bent. And then of course there's some wear and tear on this bottom corner here, but other than that, man, it's a pretty nice figure. I'm just gonna have to do some Gooby on the stickers there when I get them off. So
Yeah, if you look up at the top of it there, for anybody that ever see it, Richie, could you turn it into the camera for a second?
this one,
Just the top of it. There we go. So that's the exact way that they box for the classics too. So what you'll notice there a lot of times, and if you want to see if it's weathered or used or if it's crushed in, some people try to glue them back together too. I've
yeah,
noticed that with classics a lot, Richie. And where you hang it there, the little cardboard strip there, Richie was talking about, that's
yeah.
been my that's been my one and only complaint with the Jax line and their boxing of it was the top of it and then where you hang it because it's very, very loose cardboard and very flimsy for whatever reason, and they do break. So be careful if you're hanging them.
Yep, and there's an iconic picture of the figure there, by the way.
Yeah, I
I'm
love
sure
that shirt.
John will add some images there. Yeah, that's a cool shirt underneath the jacket there.
Yeah, that's pretty badass, dude. I love that. That's a great score, man.
Absolutely.
That's a great score. Well, I'm going to do my rare find here, and you don't see many of these online. I think I looked today and I saw like 3 of them, and you just don't see a lot of them. And it could also be constituted as a score of the week, I guess, too, because of the price that I got it for, which was really fucking tremendous. And I'm a huge mark for WCW. That's why we do WCW based show every week. And
Yep.
you actually pointed me out to this. You saw this and sent it to me. You're like, I bet you'd love this. I know how much you love this stuff. So I was like, all right, what you got here? And you sent it to me, and I bought it within like within a day because I had to wait for the end of the auction. So,
I'm two
and I,
for two, baby.
yep, easily, man. I was like right off the bat, I put a bid in on it. I ended up winning the bid, and I think I got everything with shipping on this. And I'll tell you because I'll constitute as a score too of the week. Is I got it with shipping and everything for this for I think it was $25 and like 50
Wow.
cents in total, and I was like, okay, sure. Especially
Sign
when
me
you,
up.
yeah, sign me up, man. It's a big pack of them. I'm gonna put it right on my wall. It's literally in flawless condition on this, except for the one spot, like I had said in an episode before, where they push it together to pop it in and out, where they put a piece of tape over that there so it didn't ever get loose, which I just don't like, but some people do. That's me being picky. So it is the WCW. I mentioned it last week. 4 Horsemen, and you have Ric Flair right here. You have Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, and Richie and my favorite of all time, Steve Mongo McMichael there. I'll get a little closer and you'll see pictures I put on here of it. Yeah, an old Mongo. Now you said this was the only figure Mongo ever had made of him, right?
Yeah, this was the only one. Is the company Toy Biz that made this?
It is Toy Biz, yep.
Yep. They are the only ones to ever make a Mongo figure. And to my knowledge, he didn't have a football figure from startup ever made as well. So this is definitely the only one of Mongo in figure form.
Yeah, and honestly on this one, as you'll see in the pictures I put up, what was left to be desired in this one was the facial scans on them. I'll say Flair looked like Charles Robinson in his face on this one. He just had they had the mannerisms of him. They put him in a robe, had the haircut right, but his face looked like Little H there. Benoit's kind of looks like him, but they gave him this weird beard. He looks more like what's that jabroni's name that was in Austin Aries. He looks like it's got the face of Austin Aries, and you'll see in the pictures I put up. Then the Dean Malenko one doesn't even look like him.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest,
No, it's true.
It doesn't even look like him. It looks like average Mike Sanders from WCW days.
That's
Uh,
fair.
yeah, Mongo's actually looks like him, which is really funny. His actually looks really good. The Mongo one is the best one out of it, though. And you really wouldn't notice unless you look closely or you're a collector and you look for those things like we do. But when I saw the Malenko one come up today, I was like, whoever designed the facial features and did the facial scan on this should be fired, man, because this thing is the worst in regards to looking like somebody. It's amazing to see the technology and how it's changed in the past 21 years. So,
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that Chris Benoit was one of my favorites just because the attire. He had
yeah.
some shitty figures come out in WCW, man. They
Hmm.
had that god-awful one from the San Francisco Toy Maker line. Just didn't look like him at all.
I know the
Benoit
one
is
you're
another
talking
one.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Benoit's
sucked.
another one. They can never nail his attire down for some reason, and it was the easiest shit. I mean, you would think that guy, being one of the most iconic horsemen in that era, they would actually be able to nail a figure out for him, but they just couldn't do it, man, and it's unfortunate. But we're not here to debate his, situation that he had later on in life. We're just talking about figures here tonight. So,
Yeah.
let's keep all the drama away if y'all don't mind in the comments and stuff. Just leave that shit out. This is something we're trying to do for us and no stress here. So if you want to talk
Absolutely.
about that though, we're doing a Benoit episode on Wrestling
Yep.
Anonymous. That's a cheap plug. So
There you go,
um,
man. It's gonna be fun. It'll be out by the time they listen to this or right around that time frame.
yeah,
This this is a honestly though, minus the facial scans on this, the outfits were very spot on. They even put a robe on Rick.
yeah,
It was a cheap looking one in it. It's not like they do for the other ones for classics and other lines that they do with him, where he's got this like amazing robe in there that's just the most realistic looking thing. It was still cool though, man. Like, and they did a very good job replicating what they wore, and the box is tremendous. It and like I said, it's in flawless shape. There's not a nick, a scratch, a crease that's ripped off in any way. Just the little piece of tape that I said I don't like where people put it on to seal it. And it was a special collector's edition, so there's not a ton of these that are out there.
right.
I wouldn't even venture to make a guess on it, but I would say it's probably on 3 to 5 thousand just from what I've seen with like a lot of these special collector edition ones. So I don't know. It's very nice though. I like it and enjoy it. Now, you know what I love, Richie? I love the box too on this on the back, man. It gives a whole like synopsis of the Horsemen with everything in here, and it's just, I don't know. It was a really nice job that they did with Toy Biz did on this. It was really nice in general. The overall presentation of it was just top notch to the boxing of it and just what they put into it. Just would have liked to seen a little bit more attention to detail in the facial scans and actually look better on that. But hey, it is what it is, man. That's a pretty rare thing that you don't find too much online. You'll see them; they're out there, and they're going at a good price right now. So if you like that type of stuff, I think you could probably find one for a little bit more than what I paid, maybe even around the same that I paid, because for whatever reason right now they're not commanding a ton of money. That, so I don't know. I love.
Looks like your audio is cutting out there, bud.
Can you hear me
We
now?
were just having production problems tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could hear you better now. Go ahead and restart that.
gotcha. Yeah, so you could find them out there and they're not going for too much money, and they're just a little bit more probably going for than what I paid for it, maybe 10 15 more for the common ones that I've seen for that. Reason I think it's a little lower and it's going for a little lower, even though there's not a ton of them that were made and it was a special collector's edition. I think it was due to the facial scans. That's just me, and I think that people probably didn't like it as much because of that. What do you think, Richie?
Well, the thing is, man, you got to look back at the times. They had just gotten out of that deal with the San Francisco Toy Company,
Mm-hmm.
which were producing hot garbage for figures, as far as I'm concerned. The nostalgia and the sentimental value is there, but definitely when they got out of that deal, they also were doing a restart for their WCW program at the time as
Mm-hmm.
well. So, they brokered a new deal with Toy Biz and got the ball rolling. These were the first few products that they came out with. This was part of it. And of course, WCW going through the transitional phase at the time. They were even doing that with their toys. And this was the product of it. Toy Biz, it was their first shot at making wrestling figures. And so this particular one, they didn't do such a great job with the facial features and stuff. But Toy Biz is one of the most underrated in my opinion because later on, they made some really good ones there. So that take a lot of hate still to this day in the figure community. I don't know why. Toy Biz was one of my favorites of all time for WCW stuff. So, they did end up doing better in the long run.
They did.
But this was their early production stuff. So
Yeah, we covered them on a couple times during the episodes with Toy Biz and some of the really cool stuff that they have made. So, irregardless on this one, it's a cool figure, man. It's a cool set. It really just is. I was glad you saw it and found it and sent it to me because you knew I'd like it. And
yeah,
like we had said earlier, this was the only Mongo figure ever made. So
yeah,
it's
great pickup for your collection there.
yeah, it's nice, man. So I definitely enjoy it. I'm a WCW mark, and anything that goes relation to that time is something I'll always take a look at. So love the figure, man. Love the box. Love everything about it. I was super stoked when it came in the mail today, and definitely made a good afternoon when I knew I got that. I've been waiting for it for a little bit. So, what do you got
Absolutely.
for us to close off the show tonight, bro?
I actually have two more things
Ooh,
that we're going to show there. I have a mail away figure that normally I don't collect the basics. I don't get involved with that kind of stuff anymore. I used to. Not that they're not good, it's just that's not the stuff I collect anymore. Um, but this particular figure I had to get it, one because he's one of my favorites of all time, and two because it's a mail away and it's rare and the price was too good to pass up. So I ended up picking this up. It is a mail away Mattel Mankind figure. And if you're looking at this and kind of scratching your head for a reason, it's probably because you're not used to seeing their packaging this small. And that's kind of what was so special about this mail away is, the packaging was different and it was
I
pretty
like the
cool.
packaging.
Yeah, this is Mankind's first attire here, that he came out in, and I, haven't seen many of those. I do have the elite version of this that they came out with later on.
Hmm.
But this particular figure, man, it's cool because they have those pieces of his hair chunks right there that you can add into the
That's
figure.
cool.
So that was a nice touch. Of course, Mick Foley signed it in orange for me when I went out and met him. So that was great to get this figure signed. You flip it over here and you get a nice image of Mankind there. And all in all, man, not much to say about it, but definitely a great figure in the collection. Mailaways can get pretty pricey actually because a lot of people don't end up sending off for them, and this one's no exception. For a basic, $40 to $50 unsigned, that's about what you're going to pay for it, and it's a pretty damn good figure. So
Yeah, it's really nice,
definitely
dude.
recommended. Yeah, absolutely.
I love the hair touch to it, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's iconic to him.
That I think it's a really cool box. Actually, I think it's very unique. I like that actually.
Yeah, definitely small, to the point. And most of these got thrown away. There's not too many that
Hmm.
are left in the package there, so
Hey, good grab, bro.
absolutely. Of course, we got another one here that I wanted to show you guys, and this one is one of my favorites in my collection. And of course, you could probably guess what series it's from or what brand it is. It's the Classic Superstars line.
Hmm.
And this is a deluxe classic superstars. And the reason why I picked this one is this particular attire that he wore is based off one of my favorite matches, probably my favorite match of all time, the Nation of Domination Rock versus the DX Triple H at the time, their ladder match. So that is my deluxe classic superstars Triple H in the purple tights attire that he wore that night when he faced The Rock. And if you get a good look at this head scan, I think they did a great job on that figure there. They nailed his nose perfectly.
It's big enough.
It's big enough, that's for sure. But my favorite part of this is, of course, the tights, because these purple tights were iconic and really fucking cool, in my opinion. This was my favorite time period for Triple H. I thought he did a great job during this time period, and I wish DX would have had a longer run than they did.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, this figure is pretty much in mint condition. And the good thing about these deluxe ones is the articulation, and they spent more time on the facial stuff too. You can definitely tell on that. Um,
Man, I haven't even seen that one yet, and I thought I've seen pretty much every classics one since they're my favorites. I haven't even seen that one yet. That's got to be one that's not really out there too much.
yeah, there's a couple out there. It's definitely not the rarest figure, but
Mhm.
it is a very nice one. They're hard to come by in such great condition, which this one here is pretty much in mint condition. Um, A lot of the people that came in this series, though, and one of them in particular, I am really searching hard for. So the DMs are open if you want to, if you guys are trying to trade or anything. So I'll let you know when that one comes up. But Sergeant Slaughter, of course, you had Eddie Guerrero, Hillbilly Jim, and then Triple H. I am looking for the 2003 version of Kane. I
Hmm.
have the regular edition of Kane in the Classic Superstars line. I'm looking for the deluxe one.
Mhm.
So if anybody's out there, wanting to trade or anything like that, you're looking for autographs, 8x10s, whatever, let me know. I got plenty of them, and we can work out a deal. All in all, man, Deluxe Superstars, classic, freaking great line, great addition to anyone's collection. This is definitely on my must-haves as far as figures. So if you're out there and you're looking for this one, definitely get it. If you're a fan of Triple H, you will not find a better head scan for that particular era in his career.
Yeah, man, that's a real nice one. The deluxe ones are very, very, very underrated again for the deluxe ones as well. I have a Honky Tonk Man deluxe one, and they're a little less flashy in my opinion than the other classics that are out there, but they're just really cool things that they have them doing on in theirs. They have really cool, like the outfit on this one, like you said, with the purple color outfit. Most people, I don't ever remember them being in that, so that's pretty cool to see, like how they kind of captured those different images in a different way. Really
Yeah,
beautiful. That's a nice one, bro.
absolutely, man.
Yep.
I recommend it to anyone out there that's, in the collecting game.
Hmm.
The thing about these deluxe ones is they spent way more time on these than the regular classic superstars that
Yep.
came out. And here you can see it says 50% more articulation, and damn sure right by the way you look at it. And these particular ones came with WrestleMania ring skirts, and I just thought that was a really cool touch. This was, of course, the WrestleMania X8 ring skirt that it came with,
Hmm.
and that was the Steve Austin versus The Rock when Austin did a heel turn, if I remember correctly. X8 might
X8.
be wrong. Yeah, I am wrong. I think that was when Triple H won the undisputed title, actually.
I think it was 19 or 20 actually,
Yeah,
right
yeah,
around there. Because 21 it wasn't because he was in Hollywood. Um,
right.
that was Hollywood one, so I think it's 20 actually. Could
Yeah.
be wrong now.
Yep. All in all, iconic figure, great. If you're a DX collector or whatever, this is definitely for you. So
Hell yeah, man.
just wanted to throw that out there, show you a few things, and if you don't mind, I just got one more thing to show
Yeah, bro.
people. This is something that I showed on the first episode, but due to complications with the video footage and everything, we didn't release it. So I'm gonna
Hmm.
go ahead and share this all with you today. I got this from a guy online that was selling pro wrestling loot stuff out of his crates that he didn't particularly like. So I scored this for a great price. I ended up paying 15 bucks for it. It is the pro wrestling loot version of the Funko Pops, and this is the
Ah,
iconic Brian Pillman
yep.
Jr., which we just did a great episode on Wrestling Anonymous on the podcast there, where we broke down the life and death of Brian Pillman Sr. And so this is his son. And if you look at the Funko itself or the figure itself, it definitely doesn't look like him too much,
No.
but that's definitely his attire.
Yes.
And it is signed by him. And if you look to the side, that's actually what it's supposed to look like. Of course, you have the Pro Wrestling Loot logo, and their line is called Wrestling Superstars for anyone that's wondering.
That's
On the
so
back
fun.
here, yeah, absolutely. On the back here, you get a little emblem there that, means it's authentic and everything like that. Um, it says, "Don't miss a single superstar, collect them all. For more information, go to prowrestlingloot.com." So this is a great subscription service. They give you a lot of cool stuff, and this item here I thought was great. So 15 bucks, Brian Pillman Jr., definitely a great grab there.
Yeah, man. You definitely pass something like that. But the most cool thing of that is how they put the graphic from the side and then actually do the face. It looks like a fucking like he's wearing a mask of some sorts over it and distorting the face. I love that,
Yeah,
man. I think that adds extra coolness factor to that for me, man. Just because, yeah, it's awful. The
yeah,
face,
it is.
it's fucking awful. God.
So
And then the hair of the side doesn't even do it. I love that though. I just love that aspect of it. That looks completely opposite of what they intended for it. And then they were too stupid and they put it on the fucking box.
hey, at least they got the eyebrow up, right?
Hey, I guess, man. You always got we always got to look at some optimism in it. So I
And
would
they
say,
got the mullet. The mullet was another good touch there.
let me tell you, he rocks that mullet out good, man. But
Yeah,
Brian Pillman Jr. is a good kid, man. He really is. He's a nice kid, and
absolutely.
friend of the show and stuff. We've had him on before, and cool guy, man. So I'm sure he's elated. He got his own Funko Pop type thing, man. So I would be too. Good for him.
Absolutely,
Many
bro.
more to come, man, for him. Well, Richie, we got to quote the great Tony Schiavone, man. I'm telling you, we had a blast as always. We hope you enjoyed it. Hope you subscribe. Check us out on Twitter at WWR Podcast for myself, at III_Reardon, REARDON. And go check out our website and our store that's over there, rcpodnetwork.com. We're going to get a bunch of stuff loaded over it in the next few weeks. And we also put it up on eBay for stuff that we sell. So we really hope you guys are doing good. Check out the podcast, Wrestling Anonymous. Going to be with Chris Benoit in it, and we're going to be focusing on it. It's going to be some interesting stuff. Check out Wrestling with Reality, Rad Turtles Wrestling. They have their 100th episode on Friday, one of the great shows on our network, and there's a lot of surprises in store for Rob over there. So by the time you're hearing it, it'll already be out. It's a great show. Check it out. The 100th episode is going to be a real fun show with a lot of special guests and things like that coming in. So, Richie, you want to close us out with anything, buddy?
Yeah, absolutely. Just wanted to remind everybody that we do have some giveaways we're doing once we hit our 500 subscriber.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have been helping us out immensely with the views and stuff. We need to get our subscribers up. So our first 500 subscribers will be entered into a drawing, and it's going to be for a signed figure out of my personal collection. And this particular superstar was a part of the WWE roster and a huge part in the TNA in the beginning series in the Asylum years. So that is going to be a great figure for your collection. I'm not giving you any more hints other than you will definitely dig this. So once we get to the 1,000 subscriber mark, you will be entered in for one from John's personal collection, and I might have some extra goodies in there as well. So you guys can make this happen by getting people to subscribe, and we would also like if you could leave a comment and a few likes, turn your bells on for the notifications so you don't miss any of the content. And yeah, man, we just appreciate everything you guys have done for us so far. So
I
just want to throw that in there.
Totally the truth, man. And if we can get to that 1,000 mark by the springtime, by April 1st, I'll give a YouTube exclusive. I'll do something special for you guys, all the great listeners that are out there. I'll do something special with a wrestler that you definitely would enjoy and like to do things with. We got a lot of connections that are out there too. So if we can get there by April 1st, I'll give you another bonus too, and I'll throw in a great interview and a great topic with definitely some. We'll narrow the names down and find the right one, and once we do, you'll be able to submit questions, all that stuff too. So we want to reward you guys. You can ask them what you want within reason, and we'll try to get the best to everybody too. But we got to get there by April 1st for that one, for me to reach out to a few people, try to see what I can line up. So get us there, please. We'd love that. And Richie, we will be back again probably tomorrow with a new episode for whenever you're watching this. But if you're watching this later on after we released it, go back, look at the archives. There's a ton of great stuff in there. And until next time, everybody, we thank you for all your support, for watching Fig Life and being part of the Fig World Order here. Richie and I love having you all here with us, and keep coming back and spreading that word, because we always got your back as members of the FWO, man. Because Richie, what are we, brother?
When you're in the FWO, you're in the FWO in the Fig Life for life.